Peace cannot exist without justice, and justice cannot exist without fairness. Fairness cannot exist without development. Development cannot exist without democracy. Democracy cannot exist without respect for the identity and the worth of cultures and peoples. Rigoberta Mengistu II, Nobel Peace Prize, 1992. Some lawyers and judges often think their lay friends or siblings cannot tell good from bad judgments. Such judges use jargon to confuse their rulings. On the contrary, an average person can appreciate a good judiciary outcome. In any case, justice should be unambiguous despite its technicalities. Judges and educators who dance around justice should know that all the underhand games are well known to the people. The high-profile politicians who influence judgments and their security partners involved in the state capture of the nation's judiciary, the senior advocates of negotiation who make their name more for their ability to negotiate gratifications for judges rather than their legal prowess, and the security chiefs who use section are all known to the people. The so-called lay people follow developments and even notice when defense counsel and judges switch rules in some election petitions. They saw kangaroo when referees descended onto the field wearing the jersey of one of the teams. Before, these things used to be done with style, but these days, with their capon on the throne, they are more blatant. The people may be unable to do anything beyond invoking God's wrath. However, the overall effect of such a passionate expression of grief ends up more devastating. However, we even sat back to consider why less than 20% of public officers have rosy lives with their families after leaving office. Is it rising from curses emanating from the lamentations of the helpless and the helpless populace? Judging cases is a calling like a priest's duty. A calling is not necessarily for money making or personnel. You derail and lose focus as a judge when you start seeing yourself as a political leader who should influence things, right or wrong. The same case applies to the one who sees themselves as representing a particular interest. The increased decadences in society today is because of the misadventure when people take up callings such as priests, pastors, imams, and judges to increase their influence and afflict instead of serving the Creator and humanity. This situation applies to all professions, including journalism. The moment I use my pen to advocate an unjust cause, it turns into an abuse of my God-given talent. It has consequences. As a political reporter who has been active in and around Nigeria for most of these 4 decades, I know it never ended well with judges who came down from their high calling to the murky waters of politics. Dirty politicians, the ditto politicians who had abused their positions. When we say that it is God who gives power and position, we also refuse to hear that it is the same God who punishes those who rise to power unjustly. You just look around you today to see some high and mighty in the political space or judges of yesterday who are struggling to live with their wealth. They are striving to enjoy the true happiness that can only come from God. As a journalist and chronicler of events, I own God and humanity the duty to draw the attention of the current political and judiciary players. What they do or fail to do has serious consequences. Now or later, there are consequences too for society, expecting justice and fairness, but getting to the opposite for individuals or groups denied it and have become victims as a result. From the military era to the June 12 imposes to the current political dispensation from 1999 to 2023, I have watched political and judiciary operatives who undermined justice and now live or die in regret. Living in regret does not mean a lack of money or position, but being denied the most cherished things that humans seek: good health and true happiness. My duty, therefore, is to highlight all that may accompany this brazen and blatant undermining of the people's will. This subversion is ranging across the country in Lagos, in Enugu, in Kano, in Plateau, in Zamfara State, among others. They have been the power and what it takes to dance sample on the grave of the underdog, but it certainly does not end the matter. We must recognize, however, the fact that judges, being human, are fallible. They can deliver faulty judgment sometimes and be forgiven, but not always. It is worse if a bad judgment derives from corrupting influences of the parties to create and or other interests to justice, fairness, and the rule of law. Okay, this is the writer's opinion. He's just talking about how politicians, judges who pass, judges which is not correct, judgments which are not correct. He says, see, they are going to face the consequences. They must face the consequences. That is what the writer is just trying to say. If you pass any judgment against the will of the people, because you feel that you have been given bag of money, and for that you cannot thwart the will of the people. He says, see, all these things get consequences. Well, Nigerians, what's your take on this? Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.